Hi, friends, and thank you so much for joining me on another video that I'm going to share another example of how the study methods can actually work in English. So think about all the vocabularies that you had in the past, 20 words, neat columns, and maybe you were using a nice, neat, colorful stationery to make your studying even more fun. But then when you go back to them, at some point, you barely remember any of it. But you probably remember exactly what you wanted to say the day that you couldn't say it. There it is. The word you were missing in that meeting, the thing you wish you would say to a person in a shop or at the bus stop. You didn't realize those. You just have them. And the difference between the words that will vanish and the words that will stay is what is the whole video about. So stay with me, please, and I'm going to share amazing things with you. And hopefully that will change your study approach because there is a reason for it that you don't remember those things. And once you understand, you will know exactly what to do. So give me this 10 minutes and I'm going to show you how you can use the 15 minutes a day and basically improve your vocabulary. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm an English coach and TEFL teacher. English isn't my first language. I learn English the same way as you are learning it now, so I do understand your journey. And today, why writing a journal in English works so much better than studying vocabulary. And there is actually a good science behind it from two different sources, so stay with me. Let's start with the problem. When you learn words from the list, what does the brain actually have? A shape on a page and translation next to it, and that's it. Your brain is not lazy. It's basically efficient. It's constantly decoding what to keep and what to throw away, and it makes the decision based on the question. Does it matter? A word on a list that doesn't really matter. Nobody said it to you. You don't need it to remember. So your brain doesn't really exactly what to do with it. So it deletes it. There is a book called Fluent Forever. I read it recently. It's by Gabriel Weiner. He was an opera singer who had to learn several languages properly and quite quickly. And the book is about how memory actually works. And he described something from memory research called the levels of processing. There are like 4 levels of it. Level 1 is the structure, how many letters, etc. You will forget it almost immediately. The level 2 is sound, the rhythm. Maybe if it's similar to the other word that you know, it might stick, but it doesn't mean it will. Level 3 is like a concept. What does it mean? Is it similar to the other word? Maybe that will give you a little bit of more context and it will stick maybe more. Yeah. And level 4 is the deepest one. And this one we actually going to be talking about because it's a personal concept. So do you like this thing? Has this happened to you at some point? What does the word remind you of? And as you notice, this is emotional connection. And the research is quite consistent. The deeper the level, the stronger the memory. Personal connection beats everything above it. Weiner put this beautifully because he said that a word should bring out an explosion of associations, which are sounds, spelling, meanings, but also memories and emotions. So the question isn't how many times have I seen this word? It's, is this word connect to me? And hear me out. And if you're still watching, please subscribe and give me a like. Huberman Lab. I don't know if you're watching the guy. I'm going to leave his podcast down below as well. The second source, he's a completely different field because Andrew Huberman is neuroscientist at Stanford University. And there is one episode called Optimal Protocols for Studying and Learning. So exactly what we're talking about here. So I'm going to link that down below. And one of the things he explained is that emotionally charged experiences are remembered more vividly and for longer than natural ones. So the reason is actually chemical. When something matters to you, when you feel stress or excitement or even embarrassment, your body releases things like epinephrine, which most of us call adrenaline. And those chemicals help lock the memory in. So it isn't that you have a bad memory, it's that nothing was happening when you met those words like 20 times, you know? It's like it doesn't really matter. There is no connection. Neither of these guys are talking about journaling, okay? So hear me out, stay with me. Weiner is talking about flashcards, Huberman is talking about studying like in general. But put them next to each other and you get something quite simple. You remember what you felt and what was about you. So think about what journaling actually is. Like it's a page where you write about your day, your work, your problems, your children, the thing that annoyed you this morning. So every sentence in this level 4, every sentence is personal and most of it is already yours. It has emotions attached already because you're writing about the things that made you tired, made you pleased or worried. You're not attaching feelings to English artificially. The feeling is already there. You're just writing it down in different language. That's why 15 minutes of journaling can do more than an hour of studying raw vocabulary. Not because the journal is clever, because your life already did the hard part. Right. So here is the method. 4 steps, and step 2 is the one that changes everything. 1. Okay? Stay with me. Write a few lines about your actual day. In English, be basic. You should be basic. Today I woke up late. I was tired. The weather is horrible. 2, when a word is missing, don't look it up straight away, okay? Write it down in your own language, in brackets, and keep going. This matters more than it sounds, because if you stop mid-sentence to open a translator, dictionary, or whatever you want to use to check the word, you lose the thread. And after 4 days, you stop journaling. So keep the flow, keep the momentum going. The gaps can wait. 3, at the end, look up the words 2, 3, how many you've marked, and write them down at the bottom of the page. And notice what those words are. They're not from syllabus, right? Let's be honest. They are your words because your life asked for them. So that's the exact thing you wanted to express, but you couldn't. And step number 4, tomorrow, use them. So put yesterday's words into today's entry. Even if you have to sometimes bend the sentence a little bit to feed the new words, or maybe you have a different perspective a little bit of what happened yesterday, redesign it, redo it, but use the sentence. That's it. That's the whole method. And here is what happened after a month, which I think is the loveliest part. You will have a vocabulary list, but not one somebody said, oh, you have to learn this in the next 2 days. But the one that is entirely out of your own days. Like seriously, these are your words. Because every word in it arrived because you reach for it. And the reason that you have to look it up, it's just, it wasn't there in your head at the beginning. Every word has a memory attached, the day you needed it. What was happening, how you felt. Weiner, the author of The Fluent Forever, personal connection built in. And Huberman emotions, already there. There are your words. Nobody choose them for you, and that's exactly why they stay. Now, let me be honest about the beginning because it isn't glamorous. And your first entries will feel like the child is writing, okay? Today was busy, I was tired, because maybe your level is just A2 and the only tense you know is the present simple. But simple sentences you can actually write beat perfect sentences you don't write, okay? Simple is better than perfect. And you don't need a beautiful notebook. If that will help, go for it. But your phone's notes app is completely fine. The only thing that matters is that it's about you. So write a few lines about your real day, mark the missing words in your own language, and keep going. Look them up at the end and use them the next day. 2 weeks of that and you will see it. And tell me in the comments, do you journal already in your own language? I'm genuinely curious, how many of you are doing this and haven't switched yet? I read every single comment, and I would appreciate if you would subscribe and like this video. And if you want to stay for the next one, I would be thrilled. So thank you for watching, and say it right.